Hey, what's going on, guys? What's everybody up to? Because if you guys want to jump in here, you can. Went on StreamYard. Seen a lot of people are doing that, just so we can get more than one person in here if you guys are interested. UK, nice. Madison, nice. Awesome seeing more people from the same state. Hopefully you guys can own some good stuff over there in the UK. Nice work. You working all night? Still working with her. She's doing a lot better though. So I could probably get her out and handle her a little bit. Show you guys how she is. But she still kind of wants to bite a little bit. She gets aggravated like when I first hold her, and then like after like a minute or two she gets aggravated. But hopefully that changes soon. But I don't know. I got lucky though. I mean, my Argentine can be a little iffy when she's in the cage. I had her out yesterday because I had to clean her cage, and when she's out, she's fine. But it's really not the same with my VPI Aztec. I think the UK though has a ton of ball pythons. Or you want to see the moon glow? The moon glow is in shed, so she doesn't look as nice as she normally would. But she'll probably shed out here in the next day or two. And she still has some blood on her from when she ate the other night, but kind of hard to show her colors just because she's all white and she's kind of bright and with the lighting. But she's 2020, so I need to get her up on a little bit more food so she can get some weight up on her. But I think I'm going to switch her to, I think, rat pups here in the next month or two, because she's eating large mice, and it's not really doing much for her. What's up, JJ? So the snow is a little bit better just because he's not in shed. But I mean, they basically look. They basically look the same. I'm still waiting for that one to change over, like to change colors. It's taken quite a while. But he still is young. I have some 2021s that are bigger than he is, and my moon glow, and they're both 2020s, and then I do have a 2021 that's bigger than my 2019, which is kind of weird. But thanks. I need to get it trimmed up professionally, but it's hard to find places to do that because of COVID. You got to wear a mask. I want one. But I gotta find a pair. If I'm going to get one, I got to get a pair. So I am in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this girl shed out not too long ago, and she's getting a lot darker since I got her at the beginning of the year. Nice. Not too far then. So I don't know if she's going to go all black, but she does have the hypo in the jungle in her with the motley. So it's kind of like a weird combo with her on how she's going to be when she gets older. So I just saw pictures about the albino, and I guess it's a T positive. So I don't really understand exactly what that means, but it looks cool. I still prefer the greens, but it's definitely a positive into getting newer morphs into America with them. But I don't know. I'm thinking it's a very special, selective list of who's going to be able to buy those, and they're probably going to be. I mean, I would say they probably have a $50,000 to $100,000 price tag on them, if not more. So it is interesting though that because the importation of anacondas is illegal, so that'll open up some stuff around in the States for future breeding, which would be really cool. But we'll have to see what who gets them, or even if Megan even lets them go, because I would assume she's going to hang on to a bunch of them and then just breed them like crazy in the next 6 years and then sell them off. Yeah, some of them take quite a while to shed. So I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I've had snakes that take a couple weeks, and I've had snakes take less than a week. So I would just keep spraying her cage down, and she'll shed. A BCL 0. Yeah, I did see. So the pricing must go down on the dooms, because I was seeing at the beginning of the year people were selling females for like $700. So it's good that that the price is going down. Got pooped on today. I have never been pooped on yet, but I do, obviously, as you guys do, clean out poop probably almost every day. So it really depends on I guess on the size of the snake and the age. Some of my bigger snakes do take quite a while, and then the smaller ones normally take about a week to a week and a half. Yeah, you can always take them to the vet. The vets can be a little pricey, but they're not too bad. A patternless boa, nice. Never heard of that before. I had to take one of my snakes to the vet, get her checked out, get some medicine, and it wasn't that bad. So it's a lot doable than what most people claim. But this is a open chat. If you guys want to, or if you guys are available, you guys can jump in here. I think I set it up right with Yard Stream, where guests can come in, unlike the regular YouTube where nobody can join in. So, what's your favorite? That's really kind of tough to say because I've never owned an actual like big snake. I've never handled a big snake, but my anacondas are really nice to handle, and my Burmese is also nice to handle as well. So, I mean, I've never had African rocks or retics or anything like that, but so far the Burmese and the anacondas are probably my favorite, but they're still small, relatively small to what they will be. Okay, I'm gonna have to look him up then and follow him. I love Sterlings. I want one really bad. I could get one right now if I really wanted to, but the pricing's a little high, and I have to figure out like what goes to what. Because I have way too many boas or snakes in general, and then I'm very heavy on females. I really wouldn't worry about going to the vet on just a shed. I'll just keep the humidity super high. Um, yeah, I've seen some bills of people's um, importing when they like. I follow people on Instagram that import a lot of ball pythons, and they're paying thousands and thousands of dollars on just the shipping. Anacondas. I do not own a yellow, and I don't know if I would own a yellow anaconda. They're cool. They look good, but unless their temperament is perfect, then I don't want it. And I just like the greens way better than the yellows on how they look. Nice. Definitely gonna have to look that one up. The Argentine's good. I had her out yesterday cleaning out her cage, and she's good. She's getting big. She's on large rats now, which I probably should have been feeding her that earlier, but uh, she's on larges and she's going to be getting her size on very, very fast. I've seen plenty of yellows that are evil. I can't think of his name right now, but the guy on YouTube, uh, he's got that yellow super mean. Can't think of his name. He does all the venomous stuff. And then this girl right here is in shed as well, VPI Jungle, and she's just going to get better and better as she gets older. Try to hold her. So, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they look nice. I would never get a hybrid though. I'll tell you that much. I see some people messing around with the yellow green hybrids, and I've heard nothing but good things or nothing but bad attitudes from them. So I do have Pop Tarts door open. Chandler, that's who it is. Chandler. He gets bit all the time. All the time. But I know he did buy that as a rescue, I guess. And so who knows how the previous owner handled it. So you can't really, I mean, you can only blame the owner, I guess, or previous owner. The one that I just had out, I'm feeding it mice, small mice, a little bit bigger than the hoppers, but mice. I feed the boas for the first year on mice, and then basically after that first year, I try to swap them over to rat pups because I did make the mistake on my Moonglow, giving it a rat too early, and she puked it all up. And then when I give her mice, I didn't have any issues. So, and then the regurgitation can kill them. So try to be careful about that. I do have Pop-Tart's door open. Normally she comes out. Heavy hearts. Yes, I am single. I don't think there's too many females out there that would be okay with 40 snakes and growing. What are you gonna? I do quite a few videos on the feedings, none live, but I do post a lot, and I don't know, it's just kind of I don't know, people get really weird on feeding videos, but people want to see them, some people don't want to see them. Live feeding, that's probably the one that where I get the worst comments on there. And then I did a live feeding on, I threw a rat in with my other anaconda, my smaller anaconda, and the comments did not go very well. But you know what I mean? Like, it's what they eat. I don't know why people get so mad about it. Let's see if we can get Pop-Tart out. I'll get her out. Jen, what's up? So Pop-Tart's getting bigger, it seems. And I noticed they don't shed very much. She probably only sheds 2 or 3 times a year. So yeah, they definitely eat live, but people on the internet want to get mad about it. But it doesn't make any sense, because you literally have to look up live feeding, a snake live feeding, to see it. So these people are looking these videos up to watch them and then complain about them. Nice. Well, glad you're here. Worst bite from a snake. I've never had bad bites. I don't want to jinx myself, but I've just been tagged like defensive bites, and that was really it. I've never been bit on a feeding response, so I can't say that I've had any bad bites. Small bites, but we'll see what happens when these snakes get a little bit bigger. All right, I'll check out him and see what he does with his anacondas. 8 yellows. That's a lot, though. That's crazy. Yeah, she does pretty well on the sheds. So I guess it really depends on where she's shedding. It all comes off of her, but it like gets ripped apart because I have a bunch of logs and branches and stuff in her cage. So she does have a clean shed. It's just not all one flow shed, which kind of sucks, because it'd be cool to get a full piece shed just to have from her, but I'm normally picking up, half here, half there. But her cage is a little big for her right now. Like, she honestly, like, I don't know. People get weird about cages, but theoretically she could be in a 70/30. Well, she would do full complete sheds. It's just that I think when she sheds, she goes up and down on, I don't know if you guys can see it, but all of those logs right there. And so when she goes, twists herself around those branches, I think it just, her shed, gets caught on there and then they rip apart. Grand anacondas really don't get that big. And that's like, people say that all the time. If you have a wall, like an empty wall in your room, you have enough room. Like an adult female gets like 15 feet, and they get 100 plus pounds, but they're not 20. They're not retics. So I mean, if you have an 8x3 or a 10x3 or whatever, it's not that bad. Yeah, so my other anaconda, which I can show you her as well. When was it? Back in April, I think. She stopped eating, and then she would eat for me, and then everything she ate, she would just throw up. So her skin was super saggy, and like you could almost like see her bones. And then when you picked her up, like all of her skin would just like peel up on her. So took her to the vet, had a bunch of tests run, and basically what I was told was there was air pockets in her intestines. So then I had to give her oral liquid medication twice a day for 2 weeks, and it helped. She bounced back, and she's doing fine, but literally thought she was going to die. And it was not fun giving her injecting liquid down her throat. That was not pleasant for either of us. Good rack systems. I like ARS, but vision is good, and I'm having a blank on who the other one is out in California. There's ARS, and I forget. You guys know. Help me out here. Medication. No, the vet had some stuff on hand. I went to a reptile specific vet in the area, and he was like, this is what's happening 2 times a day for 2 weeks, and it cleared it up perfectly. I would definitely recommend buying rack systems right now. If Freedom Breeder, Rob, you got it, Freedom Breeder. I would highly recommend buying racks now because the prices are going up like crazy. Freedom Breeder ARS just put up $200 extra on all their racks, and that's from the other $100 they put up at the beginning of the year. So, $2,700 for a rack system is not cheap at all. And the way it's looking, plastic is going up, metal's going up, so the prices are only going to keep rising, and I highly doubt any of them are going to lower their prices back down after whatever's happening, because who knows. But I was thinking about getting I messed everything up, and all the boats just sitting off on the ports. That's not helping anything either. So ARS, it just depends on what size you want. I'm looking at a 5540 right now for my ball pythons, and 5540, if I personally go and get it, because shipping's expensive as well, but I can drive 2 hours and pick it up. I think I was looking at 2,600, and last year it was 2,200. So 2,200 is a lot. $2,600 is ridiculous for some plastic and metal. But if you can build it out of PVC, that's one thing. You can actually just buy these tubs off Freedom Breeder or ARS, And then you can build your own rack system out of wood or PVC, and you just buy the tubs. But the tubs are expensive as well. I think they're like 15, 20 bucks, which doesn't seem like a lot until you have to buy 50 of them. Hey, what's up, Constricted? I'm waiting for that new video on those new snakes. Animal Plastics does have the nice 4x2s, but I'm hearing people are waiting almost 8 to 9 months for them. So, and then you got to pay for the shipping, which is kind of ridiculous. I do want to get an 8x3 vision cage, the big solid plastic. So on Animal Plastics, you have to, it all comes torn apart and then you have to put it together. Where the Visions, it's just one big piece of plastic with glass doors, but it's like $1,500. So yeah, that Da Vinci medicine, I was giving that to my other one, and it helps. It worked. So I was giving my other anaconda two different kinds of medicine, and one of the two worked, or they both worked. But as of right now, she's alive, so can't complain about that. I only got bit by two snakes, the anaconda, the other one, and then my Argentine. Yeah, because even Visions, the Visions have nice ones for babies, but you're still going to spend maybe $1,500 to $2,000. So you have to go. You have to spend some decent amount of money if you want to get multiple snakes. So breeding, I've got some females that should be ready. Ball pythons ready next year, and then I'm hoping to get a whole bunch more ball pythons just because I'm only going to do with clowns and pieds, and then I really want to get into some freeway stuff. But all my boas, they're all way too young to breed. I really want to breed anacondas. She's years away, and I have to get a male, which anacondas are. That's another thing. Prices on snakes have skyrocketed too, so it's tough. Hey, so this is an open chat, so if you guys are able to jump in and want to jump in, you can. Just throwing it out there. Whoa. So I really want to breed Argentines. The pricing on them has gone way up on those. So my first Argentine I bought 4 years ago, and it was $200. Right now they're $900. You might be able to find them for $7, but most of the time they're for females. They're right around $900. So, and then the Max Pink lines, which are awesome. I just had a buddy buy a Max Pink female. I think he paid $1,300. Worth it? Not worth it? It's up to you. Well, it's nice that you're getting quality stuff. Yeah, another thing is Argentines are on the endangered list in Argentina, so they can't be imported into America. So you have to find a special breeder, just like these. So when you have to find a special breeder, that price goes way up. And it's a boa, so it's you pay, the $2,000 for male and female. You feed them up to size. This is with any boa, and you breed them once, and they die, which is why it makes me so nervous on breeding boas, because any big boa breeder will tell you their snakes die all the time. You run the risk. That's ball pythons really don't have that risk. Very, very low risk of dying on ball pythons, but everybody does ball pythons. So I think it's a good risk to put your name out there as a boa breeder, but that's just me. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you. So I started getting into snakes probably about 5 years ago, 5 or 6. So in 5 to 6 years, I went from one king snake to 40. Rise of right now, I have 40 snakes, and I have had snakes pass away on me in the past. It sucks. I don't think it was anything that I did, but you know, when you're dealing with a living animal, they can have all kinds of weird issues. I mean, I just talked to all the top breeders in America, and they have females die all the time. Old breeder females die. I've had people tell me even first time pairings, they ovulate and then they die. So, I mean, I'm just going off of what people tell me and what I see. So, because I mean, I've seen people put $5,000 boas together, and first ovulation, they die. So it's just this can kind of get a little bit stressful. Yeah, I've never heard of Brian Boas, but I've talked to plenty of other top breeders. One of the top one would be Chi-Town Constrictors. He has boas that die. I mean, whether he tells you or not, I've seen personally boas die not giving birth, holding on to babies and not having them give the birth when they're supposed to. I've seen boas ovulate and die. I've seen breeders or multiple yearly breeder females die. I've seen males die. I've seen males lose their hemipenes. I don't know, but I mean, I just see the local breeders. I mean, multiple local breeders on boas, and they have females that die every year. So I guess you're the only person that I've heard. I don't know, you're the first person I've ever heard that has never had a female ever die on breeding, which is why a lot of people stick with ball pythons, I guess, because you can breed them back to back every year and really not have any issues. What's the most you would pay for a boa? I paid $4,000 for a boa, which is still hurting my credit card. But I've got a couple. Yeah, a lot of females. And it's just easier. Like I know some people don't breed boas every single year. Like they like to give a year off. But then I see some people every 8 to 12 months pumping ball pythons up. Yeah, it was a VPI IMG. It was like 38. So not really 4, but 38. And that hurt. VPI jungle, that hurt. The Moonglow hurt. What else hurt? Oh, the VPI Aztec, that hurt. Those are, I mean, that's a $1,300. VPI Jungle was 2,000. She was 1,000. But they're going up. Like anacondas are going up. It's crazy. I've had people on my Instagram offer me prices for my female because she's basically, um, I guess she's ready to breed, if not next season. But I've had people offer trades or money. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I kind of like her, and I paid, I mean, I paid $200 for her 4 years ago, so it's not like, I mean, anything that I sell her for, I would get a profit on. But I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I'd want to breed her or not. I mean, I would like to, but they're pricey. Yeah, the Argentine. Um, I don't even know who. I haven't really looked very much on looking for baby Argentines because they go so fast. Even the Max Pink lines, like once somebody says, I'm 2 months out on gonna have Argentines, people are already putting down deposits. It's crazy. No, I mean, probably not. But I don't know. I just don't want to get. My fear is nobody would buy any snakes, and I'd be stuck with every single one of them, which wouldn't be bad. But I don't breed my own rats, so that would get a little pricey. Looking what up? Argentines. So I would like to do a little bit more research on the Argentines because I don't know if you can put a max pink line to a regular black and white original Argentine. I would think you could, and you would get the combos. But I don't know if people like that or not. People might just want to be strictly max pink to max pink or regular Argentine to regular Argentine. Yeah, I've been seeing some people on Instagram saying that they're having issues moving snakes. Um, but then again, I really don't know what's they're ball pythons, but I really don't know like what they're breeding. I don't know if they're breeding. I don't want to say basic stuff. Um, but I mean, if you're selling a yellow belly ball python and 9,000 other people are selling yellow bellies, you might have a little bit of an issue moving them. But with the boas, there's not that many boa breeders like there are ball pythons, so the market's not so saturated. Yeah, people get weird though with mixing stuff together because I do know some people do mix a regular boa with an Argentine, and then you get like that combo color, and then people don't really want that because it's not a purebred, which I can understand, but I just don't know if somebody would be like, "Oh, you mixed a Max Pink with a regular one and you muddied the water." People get weird about that stuff, and I would hate to have 12 stuck with 12 of them because nobody wants them because it's a messed up pairing. But I mean, that would be cool though to make more Max Pinks and then more regulars. Yeah, I mean purebred. But I think if you keep the two purebreds together, I think that's okay. It's just like putting a common boa with a a Guyana red tail. People hate that stuff. and nobody wants it, and then you get stuck with it. So I would buy a Max Pink to a regular. Yeah, the Max Pinks are wild. Oh yeah, she's tolerable. She's tolerable for right now, and I'm really curious on how she's going to be next year because she's up on. So she's 2 years old, and she's on medium rats. She could probably squeeze down a large. I just don't want to do that just yet. But she is definitely getting big for a 2-year-old. And I cleaned out her water yesterday, and she just pooped in it again. So that's the one thing that I tell people: if you want to clean water, poopy water every single day, buy an anaconda. If you don't want that much maintenance, then I would stay away from them. But a BCC with an albino, yeah, that's muddy in the water. You can sell anything for the right price. Well, that is true. That is true. Which is why the BCI and the BCC combos go for way cheaper than a true red tail. But that is true. But people mix the yellows and the green anacondas, and they sell for, I think they sell for like $700, which isn't that bad. And I think that's really how much the yellows go for, anyways. So I don't know. It just really depends on how you want to get your name out there. If you want to get your name out there with the guy that's mixing a whole bunch of crap together, then then that's on whoever's doing it. But I have your signed CD in the corner up here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. Yeah, I'm sure people get mad about that because people like just hognose and that's it. But I've been on the fence about buying, speaking of hog islands, about getting a hog nose, possibly a male and female, seeing how that goes, maybe try to breed them. Because they're just interesting. I was never really into them until I saw a few, and they look pretty cool. I'd probably get an anaconda, and then maybe something that could go with it. I don't know. But again, I don't know the market for hognose, and the last thing I want to do is make hognoses and get stuck with a bunch of them. So, what do you guys want to? You guys don't want to see ball pythons, do you? I mean, they're kind of boring. I could get the other one out if you want to see the one that almost died. Or the VPI IMG. Hey, Gary, do you want to jump in here and show some of your snakes? Moonglow? Yeah, I can bring the Moonglow back out. She's in shed, so she doesn't look that good. But I'm excited for her to shed because, yeah. Oh, you guys want to see the VPI Aztec? So, all right, hold on. I'll just let her roam around on the floor, even though she gets into a bunch of stuff that I really don't like her getting into. So we'll just put you down there. I just gotta remember that she's down there. So real quick on the ball pythons, this is one I'm really excited about. It's a male. It's the Orange Dream Enchi Leopard Pied. And then next year, I'm going to put this one with my normal pied and just kind of see what combos we can get out of it. So we'll see. And then I have a black pastel pied that'll be breeder ready next year. And I just got a male mahogany pied. So if I could hit on the black pastel mahogany pieds, we're in business. I don't know. She's somewhere. So I just don't want her to go up, intertwine herself into the rack system, because that would take me literally like an hour to get her out, which I'm sure that's what she's going to do. So let me get out the other green. Okay, so this is the other green, and she's a 2019. Oh, I'm sorry, 2020. So she's a year old. This is the one that almost died, and she's looking way better. She still has some weird skin tone on her, which I'm not sure why, but she's eating very well. Finally on rats after a year of birds. She's finally on rats, and this was the first snake that actually bit me. So the first day I got her, she bit me, but she's definitely is curious. The bands behind her eyes are a little bit brighter than Pop-Tarts, so hopefully hopefully that stays with her as she gets older. And she's really green too. I've seen quite a few anacondas as they get older. They kind of brown out or get a very, very dark green. Took it to the vet, had a whole bunch of tests done to her, and basically I was told that there was just air pockets in her stomach or in her intestines, which wouldn't let the food pass by, and that's why she kept on regurgitating. But I was just giving her a bunch of medicine, and I was giving her, I couldn't even tell you what the doctor recommended, but it was the liquid injection in the mouth, and then I was using some Da Vinci medical mystery stuff. One of those two helped, and she eats like a champ. So we'll see. Hopefully she still is. We'll see what happens, but hopefully nothing bad. So I got two females. I thought Pop-Tart was a male because she shed in the water, and there was stuff in there that looked like, I know they're not sperm plugs. I don't know what the real word is, but it looked like that. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, that's a male." And I checked and I checked and I checked, just rubbing my finger all the way down the backside of her, by her tail, like how you do on normal bows, and I couldn't feel anything. So I was like, well, then I'll get her as a female, and then I can have a male and female breed. Well, they're both females. So not that it's a bad thing, it's just now I got to get a third anaconda, which is later in the future. But luckily, males don't get as gigantic. Now I got to find Pop-Tart. Okay, Pop-Tart's somewhere underneath the rack system. But we'll see if I can just get one male for two females in 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Some people say 4, some people say wait till 6 years just for bigger litters. We'll see what happens. I guess it's all about the size. So maybe we'll have two females giving birth to some greens, which would be really awesome. Because there's not a lot of people out there that are doing greens, and so it would be nice to put more out there so people can enjoy them, I guess. Oh, he got stuck with two females. That's funny. I've heard that happening, and I would love if that happened to me. But I know it's not. But that'd be cool though. That'd be cool. I'm sure he's selling those off for a pretty penny. As so is Megan. Because I think Megan is I really think Megan's selling hers for like 15 to 1800. Then I know Nerd has some, but I bought both of these girls off of just random people from a reptile show locally. No big name people at all, and I mean, other than the fact that she had a little bit of an issue, which I'm not going to blame on a breeder, but oh, he only had oh, it died. Oh, so he had two? Oh, it died. That sucks. I thought they gave out like normal litter births, but we'll see. So I'll put her back and then we can check out some of these boas. So the VPI IMG, he had two females, one had a virgin birth, but the baby. Oh, that sucks. That's a bummer too. So the VPI IMG and the VPI Aztec are both litter mates, and she can sometimes throw an attitude, but she's a lot better than her sister. So this is my most expensive, which as of right now, I don't even know if it's was even worth buying because I mean I like it. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but 4 years until I can do anything with her, which sucks. And I have two. Wait, yeah, I have two males. I have a ton of females, and I only have two males, and I can't even do anything. I could probably do some stuff with the male. I don't know. Back to the chalkboard on that, but so this is 2021. Huge, way bigger than my Moonglow, which is 2009, or that's 2020, and then I have a 2019 that's smaller than she is, but she's just a good eater, I guess. Really awesome tail patterns, getting really dark. So I don't know how the adults are. Looking for to buy a ball python from you. Ooh, you might have to wait a little bit on that. Cincinnati though, that's awesome. Glad there's some people close by, which is cool. So that's her. Same way about my MG Motley. It's crazy on the personalities that some of these snakes have. And there's some that are so docile. It's really nice, and then some that just want to straight up kill you. So people tell me all the time that the anacondas are, they're gonna eat you and they're gonna stalk you and do all this crazy stuff. They're gonna bite you, and the ones that bite me are the boas, like the regular boas. And I've had some ball pythons that want to bite, but I've never had any craziness with either one of the anacondas. So it's just good. I don't know what she's gonna look like in as adult because the VPI is the albino gene, and then obviously the IMG is the dark one. No, I'll show you the one that hates me. So we're getting a little bit better, and would you? So the IMG is a weird gene, and I know Troop can help me out on this one if he's still in here. But the IMG, as far as I've been told, is not a complete dominant gene. It's kind of like one of those codoms where you can breed it. You can breed an IMG to a non-IMG, and then you could just not get IMGs. So you run the risk, but I mean you're probably going to get IMGs if you breed them. So I would have to breed another VPI with her since VPI is recessive. So I would probably get a male VPI. I really wouldn't mind getting a male VPI Aztec and putting the VPI Aztec to the IMG VPI and just getting some really cool combos. Okay. Sorry. Had to make sure Pop-Tart didn't scurry away. Do you have a booth? I do not have a booth. I don't have any snakes for sale. I don't breed anything. I'm just kind of like setting myself up for the future of breeding. So next year, hopefully I have 4 snakes that can breed, and then I'll just get the ball rolling from there. And right now I'm just picking up babies as I go on ball pythons because I'm stacked pretty heavy on boas. And it takes about 2 years for boas for males to breed. And then females are around 4 years. Some people can squeeze 3-ish, but I think 4 is really where you want it to be at. Hypo. Yeah. So, I mean, I would definitely like to put an IMG to an IMG so you get both copies passed down. But because boas have so many babies, you have a good chance of hitting IMG on something. So we'll see what happens with this girl right here. So VPI Aztec Het Snow. That's a good pairing right there. That's really good. Those Het Snows, a lot of breeders hang on to those. So here's the VPI Aztec that hates me. And she would do anything she can to bite me. Let's turn this around really fast, but she has some really nice patterns on her. And I know it's not the best quality on here, but I do have pictures on my Instagram. If you guys want to see better pictures of her. But we're doing really well. Like when I got her, like I couldn't even get this far with her. So lots of daily handling with her. And she still wants to bite me though. She's growing quick, and this is the sibling to that other VPI, the VPI IMG. Yeah, I hate when people because people at work know that I have snakes, and that's the first thing they say to me. They're like, "It's gonna size you up and eat you." I'm like, "You're an idiot." And they don't know anything about snakes, so it just makes it even worse that they even say stuff like that, because you're more likely to be mauled by a dog than to be bitten by a snake. Like I can show up accounts at least once a month about a kid getting mauled by a dog, a family calm dog, you know what I mean? So it's pretty annoying. So I got her, and I got the VPI IMG from Tony Antonini from Chi-Town. My VPI jungle is right here. Somewhere. And this is the This is the sibling. So this was born just a couple months ago. And I don't really have a good angle on her, but there she is. So again, not the best quality on a cheap webcam, but got this one from John Charlesmer, and then Gary, this is, I believe, yeah, this is a sibling to yours. So not a bad size. And she's in shed, so she does not look the greatest right now. And the IMG Molly. So this one is taking forever to even change colors. Almost a full stripe. Almost. So I was told this was IMG Molly. It was the darkest one out of the litter, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out in a couple of months. So it is dark, but I know it takes a while for them to completely go to change. So we're just kind of seeing what happens. And so the head is really dark. Doesn't really look like it, but it's pretty dark. And it has black speckling on the head. And then the tail is really dark as well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with him. So that's one of my two male and then I have the male Snow. So male Snow, which is, so that one's maybe 3 months. The Motley IMG is like 3 months, maybe 3 months. So it's not that old. And then this one is a year old, the Snow. So I know around the 6 month mark is kind of when the IMG should start popping on them, but we'll find out. Trophy jungle. I really should have gotten the male VPI jungle. That's what I should have done instead of the female, but I don't need any males yet because I can put it'd be cool to get a VPI jungle to put with a VPI IMG. That would be a cool combo, but it does take, I don't know. I guess you don't want your males to be too old. I don't know. It's only $20 to set up a table at the local show in Cincinnati. So it wouldn't be it's not expensive to get it to be at the expo. And I know the guy who runs it, so I could get in pretty easily. All right. Mountain Dew is still underneath the cage or the rack system. Yeah, I was in the Army for 7 years, so that was good and bad. I'm assuming you are as well. I love ghosts, and Gary has a ghost or a super ghost. I don't know. Oh, in my room. I got you. I read that wrong. Like at the expo. I don't know how I would do that, but I kind of have stuff all over the place. That would be a good idea though. Float me some ideas if you want on that. I love ghosts though. Head VPI would be wild. Appreciate it. Ghost jungles look good. Ghost IMGs. I'm in love with the Ghost IMG. in love. They're very, very hard to find, and they're very expensive. I think last year I was looking at one. I almost got it, but I got the Moon Glow instead. And I think I want to say it was like $1,900. My dream habit has always been an albino. An albino, I have 2 of those, which I'll be making more of next year. So I have a female albino. She just shed, like right now. So I have a female albino, and she's ready to go next year. I have a male that'll be ready to go next year. I was thinking about getting a male leopard albino or a female, because I think they look good with leopard. I just love the albino on ball pythons way more than on the boa. So I do have an albino boa, and the patterns and the colors get so faded on them. And I love, like, she's still bright. She's a year old and she's still really bright. Nice bright eyes. And there it is. She just shed. This is the one that I'm probably most excited about. So this is a female banana pied. I really was never big onto the banana pieds, but since it's a female, I have to get a female because they can make male and female, and the males they produce carry the gene to make the females, which is really cool. So big-ish plans with her at some point. 2 years. And then going strong on the banana gene, we got the banana clown, which this guy's ready to breed. Definitely could breed. I don't have any females though. Oh, there we go. Again, sorry for the poor webcam action. Sorry from PTSD. Man, I hope you're getting better with that stuff. I know they really don't treat people that great at the VA, but I was in Iraq in 2006 and 2007 as well. So we probably crossed paths at some point. So wouldn't mind putting this one to, I don't know. I've been stacking up pretty good on females. And what I'm really excited about is if you ever need to talk or anything, I'm always on Instagram at Ben Cincy Snakes. If you just want to talk some stuff out, I'm there for you. So the Fire Enchi Clown I got from Wilbanks, this girl is hot. This girl will do some big things in her future. It's always best to stack up on females first because it takes them the longest to breed. So minimum it's 4 years on female boas and 2 years on female ball pythons. And then you can get a male boa at breeder ready as early as 18 months. And you can get ball python males breeder ready in 6 months. So if you can stack up on females, then you can only get, let's say you have five female ball pythons, you can get 2 males for them. It's not really healthy for the male boas to breed back to back with multiple females. So you definitely want to have a 1-on-1 female to a male ratio on the boas. With ball pythons, they are breeding machines. Yep, I don't even mess with the VA. So I'm really excited about this little dude right here. So this is a male mahogany pied, and next year he's going to pair with my black pastel pied. Let's hope for the odds I get a black pastel mahogany. That would be pretty sweet. If not, and I just get more mahoganies and black pastels, I'm happy with that as well. But it is kind of, a lot of people buy 2 snakes and they're like, I'm going to be you can't overbreed. Yes, you can overbreed them. You can overbreed the male ball pythons, but it's way more difficult. But I see people buy two ball pythons and be like, I'm going to be a breeder. It's like, good luck. It's expensive. Really expensive. Food bill per week is a lot. Caging is a lot. So you basically have to feed your females for 2 years before you even get a return. The orange one, the orange ball python, orangey. What's the most price for a pie or albino? You can get a normal albino. You can get a normal albino for about maybe $250, $300, depending on male or female. Pies are around $400 to $450. And then if you want to get a pied albino, you're looking at about $700 for a male and about $900 for a female. Yeah, she's a fire Enchi. So she looks a lot brighter in good lighting, but a lot of stuff. And I'm honestly like about to go in more debt and buy 10 more ball pythons just so I can breed them. All clowns, all like combo clowns and pieds. And I really want a freeway, so I got a freeway on the mind. But I do Facebook if you're on there. Yeah, just find me on Ben Cincy Snakes on Facebook, and I'm on the internet all the time. So if you need to talk, let me know. I mean, some of the stuff that I'm like Ozzy, and I honestly think Ozzy Boys has better stuff than Justin Kabolka. And I bought a few snakes off of Justin Kabolka. But my dream is to hit super orange dream pieds. I do have the orange dream, one orange dream Enchi leopard pied, which is not cheap. And then you can get a single orange dream pied female for probably 800 or 900. Not terrible, but Aussies, like if you're looking at Aussie's super OD stuff, it's like $6,000. But I think he has like a custom breed. He does line breeding, and his stuff is out of this world. So I don't know if you can see, but Pop Tart's making her rounds. But I did in the very beginning, like I really had no. I mean, I got into reptiles just because I love reptiles, and I still do. Like I never got into this for breeding at all. So that's why I have so much random stuff that none of it goes together. But now as I'm piecing stuff together over the last 6 months, I'm trying to get my ball python stuff in combos and working out. And it's just the boa stuff is just out there. Because I mean, I have an albino, I have a ghost, I have a normal, I have an Argentine. Those are my biggest ones. And I mean, I could probably breed this IMG motley to my normal, see what happens. But I never got into this building up my collection for the pairings to go together. Hold on, I gotta go get Pop-Tart. she's away from where I don't want her to be, which is fine. Oh, I'll show you guys another one. So I got that the Orange Dream one from Kabolka. And then I got this one from Kabolka too, which is, this one's really cool. It's kind of unique. So I just kind of bought it for the uniqueness. And if I breed it, then I breed it. So it's the Ivory Enchi Pied. So it's the super yellow belly. It's got the Enchi gene in it, and it's pied. So it's got a really nice yellow line down the back of her, and then it's just kind of like blotched in with the pied. Kind of hard to see, I guess, a little bit. So this will be an interesting lady in the next couple of years. Technically, yes, you could call a anaconda. They do come from the boa family. Some people get really technical and say it's not a boa constrictor, but it does come from the boa, and they do constrict. So, yeah, you could call them a boa constrictor. I call them boa constrictors, and some people don't like it. But guess what? I don't care. There you go. Get what you want. And I mean, as you can see, boas stay pretty small for a while. So it's not like they get that big. You can get a boa and be happy with it for 3-4 years, and then you'd have to get something a little bit bigger as caging wise. I don't think Gary's in here anymore. I think Gary left. I was kind of seeing if Gary wanted to jump on with this live. I don't know where he is. I mean, that's something to look into. Some of my snakes, when they poop, they travel right through it, and then they travel right through it, and then they spread poop around everywhere. So it's pretty gross. And then they get stained, which makes it even worse. Python constrictors. That might work. But I mean, pythons constrict too, so I don't understand who came up with this stuff forever ago, or why it can't be changed. I don't know what she's doing. She's going around this bowl for something, or in it. I guess she's going inside, which I'm happy with. It makes me not worried about where she is. I mean, the room is, they can't get out. She can't get out. I just don't want her to go behind her cage, because if she goes behind her cage, it takes forever to get her out. I mean, if you guys want to jump in here, you can. If you guys got snakes you want to show off, we just want to talk, jump on in. You guys are more into the boas, but have a butter or the lesser clown, and she'll be breeder ready next year. Really wish this gave better lighting than what it is. Like, she's really bright yellow. I don't know. I'd say spiders, probably. I don't like spiders at all. I do own one tarantula. I don't hold it. I don't do anything with it. It just is in a glass box in another part of the house. I just give it water and feed it every couple weeks. But I would definitely, I don't know. I'd say spiders probably, but I still see people on Facebook Where when they see a snake outside, it doesn't matter what it is, they just cut its head off, which is kind of a bummer because most of the time they're just killing, uh, harmless water snakes or rat snakes, and they think they're. I mean, I saw somebody think a rat snake was a rattlesnake, and he cut his head off. Not really the greatest thing. I do have a female Super Mojave. Was have to figure out what the combos was to make this because there's 50,000 different combos to try to make a blue-eyed Lucy, but it's basically a blue-eyed Lucy. It just has the weird head stamp. It's more gray than anything else. But this lighting in here sucks. Yeah, ball pythons can get big, especially females. I've seen some up near, I don't know how many feet it was, but I've seen them up near like 6,000 grams, which is ridiculous. That'll definitely give you a bunch of babies. Not as much as a boa, though. Guess she got tired of hanging out in the water for just a little bit. So, a viper boa? I don't know. I never really looked into those. Yeah, those bird-eating spiders get massive. And I heard they can throw a little bit of an attitude as well. But I do see people handling them a lot on YouTube. I'm not the biggest spider fan, but I do watch Dark Den quite often because he has a lot of interesting spiders. I have a Mexican red knee, which is probably like about that big. Nothing crazy, but I wouldn't hold that thing for $1 million. I just don't want to get bit. Yeah, that'd be interesting. They do. Snakes do play a big part in the ecosystem, and people just jump to the conclusion that every snake is out to kill them and every snake is venomous, and they just grab a shovel and cut their head off in 5 seconds. And then after they cut the head off, they want to post a picture of the body on Facebook and be like, what kind of snake is this? And then you go, that's a rat snake. Like, it wouldn't do anything to you. Black tarantula, that sounds pretty cool. Six tarantulas, that's crazy. I mean, we don't really have any crazy spiders in Ohio. I mean, we have wolf spiders, and that's really the biggest spider that I think we have. But I don't think I'd be wanting to live in Arizona where I have to check my shoes every day for tarantulas and scorpions. Yeah, I see. I mean, I guess you can keep like spiders in little cups. I mean, I've seen people have well over 100. That would be tedious to try to feed, I would think, or even breed. I don't know how people manage breeding spiders with how many that they have. I have a family that lives out in, I don't know where in Arizona, but they have to check their shoes and they have to check their bed for spiders and scorpions all the time. But out there, they just get traps and then they kill them. So, and I know spider people feel the same way as snake people is when people find a snake in their house and they stomp on it. They get super upset about it. Centipede. What are those centipedes that bite you and that like can mess you up? That's not a regular centipede, is it? Or is that a millipede? One of them can mess you up. So I heard. And I saw a video of one eating a live mouse. Yeah, snakes and lizards are my favorite. Way way less maintenance than any other animal. Wow, that's going way back. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a long time. Probably San Andreas though. I mean, that one was pretty fun. I really don't play video games though very much. I played Warzone here and there, but I don't know. Working full time and dealing with these all the time, it's kind of my time is limited. But I also hang out with the snakes too, so that kind of wraps up a few hours. Centipede. Vietnamese centipede. Huh. I'm gonna look into that. I really want a mantis, one of the white mantises, but I think they die very quickly. I think they only live like a year. I've seen a few people getting some on my Instagram. I was like, I kind of want one. And they're like, well, they only live for a year. So that kind of sucks. Definitely snakes. I'm not against dogs. I just don't have the time for them or the patience. In and outside, taking them to parks, picking up their poop. Well, I pick up 40 snakes poop. What am I talking about? Um, vet bills, all this other stuff. Like I work 10 to 12 hours a day, so dogs really don't. I mean, it would be cruel to keep a dog a year. I mean, it's cool to have them for a year, but a year is not that. A year is too short of a lifespan to be caring for an animal. But she could have a heart attack or have a weird brain thing happen tonight, and she could die tomorrow. So, and there is a guy down the road from me. Well, he's in my town who was breeding dwarf retics, and he bought a whole bunch of off some dude. Um, Pretty famous guy that deals with the dwarf retics, and he's breeding some. So maybe, possibly not, a dwarf retic in the future. They're cool looking though. Advice on to buy a house. Have a good credit score. Have a down payment. Although nowadays you don't even need a down payment. I'd say just have a good credit score and just hopefully you have good neighbors. But I would rather buy a house than rent an apartment because a house is something that you can get your money back out of. Even if you're only renting for 2 or 3 years, you'll never get your money out of renting. Yep, Reach Out Reptiles. That's who it is. He bought a bunch of females and a couple males from him. So they are like legit dwarfs, which I think they get up to like 10 feet because he just wanted. So in Ohio, there's this, you have to have a permit for 12 feet or longer snakes. And the guy down the road wanted to deal with snakes under 12 feet and still have a retic and not have to buy the permits. But I'm obviously going to have to buy permits soon, maybe next year. I don't know. But it just sucks in Ohio because you're not allowed to file for a permit until your snake is 12 feet. So a lot of people find that a little sketchy because if you get denied, and they know you have a snake. Well, owning a house kind of sucks because you got to mow the lawn. Anything that breaks, you're responsible for it. And buying a roof is like 10 grand, if not more. So there's a lot of expense and upkeep on a house. But in the long run, if you want to sell it, you get all your money back, plus some. Right now is a really good market to buy houses. But it is nice not to have to rent or have to deal with neighbors up, down, or downstairs. Then I can buy any animal that I want. New York to Arizona. That'll be a nice move right there. 4-bedroom, that's nice. I'm on a 1-level ranch with no basement, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. So it's nothing ridiculous. But the next house that I get, I'm either going to buy another house with a basement or I'm going to build a barn type of a thing in the backyard for the snakes. And there goes Pop-Tart. So it really just depends. But paying property tax sucks. It always goes up every year. Schooling, you got to pay. If the district gets a new school, you're paying for that. So there's a lot of good and bads on owning a house, but it's whatever you personally would like to have. Yeah, I bought this house owning 2 snakes. The room that I'm in right now, this is the full master bedroom, and then I sleep in one of the guest bedrooms because the guest bedroom was not big enough for all of this stuff, and I'm still kind of running out of room. So if I knew now, then I would have gotten a much bigger house. So, because this 70-30 takes up a lot of room. That takes up a lot of room. The 8-foot cage takes up a lot of room. I'm going to need 3 of those. And then I'm going to need another one of these, baby racks, a whole bunch of stuff if I just want to keep breeding. But I don't know. Hopefully I don't run out of room, which I probably will. But dealing with landlords can be a mess with animals, and probably more so with reptiles. So there we go. There she is. Trying to go into the bathroom, but it would be nice. It'd be really nice even to have like a pole barn set up in the backyard. But for heating and air conditioning and to get it set up, that's probably $100,000, if not more. So it's really kind of sucks. And banks really don't give out those kind of loans with somebody who doesn't have that kind of income or can pay the monthly bills. And just saying, I want to have a reptile business doesn't really fly with banks right now, with no income on that. Venomous, no, I would never own venomous ever. Too risky. Right now with COVID, the hospitals are messed up. So if you get bit, that would just mess your recovery up. And I sometimes forget to leave sometimes I'll leave it like this and then I come back and my snake's gone. Although I would hope I'd be a little bit more careful with venomous. So in Ohio, there's a lot of laws against it. And right now there's only three or four people in the state who have their license. So it's a huge deal to try to get your license. You have to work with somebody, you got to get hours or mentorship. Then they have to sign off on you, and then the state has to do all this crazy stuff. So to me, it's not even worth it. I know there are states out there that have no laws on it, and that's not working out too well for them. Because I think 2 states have already had 2 missing cobras, and now they're getting punished for it. So even with my big snakes, the anacondas and the Burmese, I still have to do the permit. The state has to come into my house. They have to verify the caging. They have to verify the room that it's escape proof. I have to have locks on it. I have to let the sheriff know. I have to start with, I have to do, and then they can come in anytime they want, unannounced, and they can say, hey, I need to check your reptile room. And if you have a lock off, you can get hit with it. And then if it's just totally is messed up, then they can take your snake from you, and then we all know they kill it. So I mean, a copperhead would be cool to have. I was watching Tom Crutchfield's video saying, with him talking about the copperheads, and he was, yeah, I mean, look what happened to Tyler. He got bit, and he probably has $1 million hospital bill, which, I mean, he's rich, so he probably paid it off. But still, for the average person, $1 million health insurance or a health bill that I guarantee insurance will not cover is a lot. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work that you have to put into it, and it's just, for me personally, it's not worth it. Hognose is fine. I'm not allergic to bees or anything, so having a hognose bite wouldn't affect me at all. And they really have to chew on you to try to get their rear fangs into you. So it's a little bit more difficult for hogs or mangroves to really do some damage. King cobras are awesome, though. Spectacle cobras are awesome. I wouldn't mind having those, but again, seeing them would be a lot better than owning them for me. Chandler and them they have really nice snakes. So does Crutchfield. Cruising. I do heat the room up with a oil heater, and this has been amazing. Saves me a ton on electricity bill. And it keeps the room about 85 to 86. My only fear is that a snake will get out somehow and go into the coils and get fried, which is my main concern. And I have to put that light in this weekend, which will be nice because it's an LED light. I don't have this stupid light on up here anymore with a fan. So pretty excited about that upgrade. Never knew I'd be excited about buying a new light bulb system, but see what happens. Retics, yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of good things about retics. They're just heavy maintenance. I mean, so is an anaconda, but retics are ridiculous. I watch stuff on Wildfire Retics, I think it is. And his big females, he's feeding those goats, like baby goats. He even had a live video of a goat just walking into a retic cage, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It ate it though, so. Gaboons are very, very nice. They look awesome. So lucky for me, the Cincinnati Zoo, they have 2 gaboons. So if I ever want to see one, I can go down there. I think non-snake related, I would not mind owning I think it's the black throat Nile monitors. I would love to have one of those. But they're expensive, and I've seen Nerds full-size ones, and they're like 8 feet, well, with the tail, and they're heavy. And they eat a lot, and they're messy. I guess every reptile, now that you think of it, can get pretty gross. But I think the black monitors are, I could be wrong, I think they're like $3,000. I don't know. Pricey. Yeah, Jay definitely owns the reticulated python market. I don't think so. So this husband and wife black dragons, yeah, those are it. I want one. They wanted to get into the iguana world, so they got some iguanas, and then they got an albino from Crutchfield, and I think they have 4. It's a lot of work. Black dragons, yeah. I would love to have one. Maybe when I get my warehouse, maybe if I hit the lottery and I get a warehouse built, I'll get one. I know I'm not getting anything off, breeding snakes or YouTube. That's for sure. All right, guys. Late to the show. And a lot of, yeah. I don't know it's definitely both. I don't think you cannot get around the money aspect or the work. Even breeding your own rats. Look at how much an ARS or Freedom Breeder rat rack is. $2,000, $3,000 for one rack. You can build your own, but with the price of wood right now, it's like $1,000. Yeah, everybody. I mean, it's like owning a bird. They're cool for a little bit. Everybody says birds are not worth it in the long run. Iguanas are not worth it in the long run. I'm sure Nile monitors are not worth it. And probably a black dragon's honestly not worth it in the long run either. I'm sure it's cool as babies, but who knows? I don't know. Depends on what day it is. A lot of the shows are on Saturdays, and I work on Saturday. That's just why the Cincinnati Reptile Show works out so well for me, because I don't work on Sundays, so I can go to them. But I'll look into it and see what my schedule is. I mean, I'm willing to bet they eat a lot of food too. So she's just kind of hanging out. I'm just making sure she's not going to go into the coils on the space heater, because she will get fried. Let me move this real fast. The black ones, I've had these ones for probably 4 years, and I haven't had any issues with them. I'm just heating them up with the room heat, and that seems to work. Humidity's really well. They're only 4x20, which kind of sucks. They're not the traditional 4x24, but they work. Most chill boa. I don't know. They're all over the. I mean, they all can get a little wild, honestly. But I would say her, but she's all over the place too. I don't think there really are any chill boas. I mean, they're not mean. They're just not something to really hang out and watch TV with, really. If I was just to want to have something to chill out with, I would just get a ball python, personally. Maybe. That wouldn't be too bad. She's 2. So she's 2 years old and 5 feet, 5 feet ish. She's definitely growing fast. And she's now on medium rats, and she's really only. No, didn't have a respiratory infection. She had air bubbles in her stomach and in her intestines. So she, when she was eating, she couldn't digest the food, so she would just regurgitate it all the time. And then I had to give her a bunch of medicine, and within 2 weeks, she was perfectly fine. Shockingly, I have never had any snakes with respiratory infection. And that's just with, other than this rack behind me that has the built-in belly heat. All of my snakes are on, other than that, are basically on room temperature. But in the wintertime, I do have a radiant heat panel up underneath the 8-foot cage on top, because in the winter, since it's on the floor gets cold, and then the cage gets cold. But that's really the only heat element that I have other than on the rack system. And then the top rows, I don't even have the heat panels plugged in because it gets 85-ish, 86 anyway. So, and a lot of people throw a fit because I don't let them go from a hot side to a cold side. But, I mean, I haven't owned snakes for very long. And in the 5 years, I haven't noticed any snakes needing or having any issues needing a cold side to a hot side. Now, I really personally believe the cold side and the hot side would be if you have a heat bulb blasting on them, then they would need to get out of that direct, heat source and move away from it. But I haven't had any issues with the whole room being 86 degrees. Probably 108, so I know I'm dead. Would not want to be messed up for life. Super gas. I don't know. It was just super weird because the guy was like, she has gas. She's got air bubbles in her body, and then you need to give her these injections, this liquid injection through her mouth every day for 2 weeks. And I did that. And then I was giving her that Da Vinci mystery stuff, and no problems after that. One of the two or both helped. I'll look into that show if it's on a Sunday. I'll see what happens. I need to get out of my little bubble of the Cincinnati reptile show. I did go, well, I went to Tinley a long time ago. That was fun. Favorite snake? The anacondas, 100%. If I had to get rid of all of them and keep one, it'd be Pop-Tart. Burmese are cool. I have no problems with my Burmese at all. Was a little hissy and bitey as a baby, but we're pretty much over that now. No retics. I don't plan on owning any mainland retics. Dwarf, super dwarf, possibly, but I will never own a full-size mainland. They look cool. I don't have the space or the money to house them or feed them with everything else that I have. I don't know. I think rocks get bigger. I don't know. I mean, they're both right around 17-ish feet, I think. Normally, they can't get bigger though. I don't see too many people with African rocks. I think they can be a little mean, but I like the patterns that they throw. Berms are nice, and berms, I've been told berms get better with age. They get a lot nicer. They get a lot calmer. I know. I know I say that now. Who knows where I'll be in 5 years? I could have a retic. And I never knew I would have 40 snakes, and here I am with 40 snakes. Most aggressive type of python? I don't know. I think they all can be a little aggressive if you don't give them attention. Pretty good, pretty good. More on the way, but sitting at 40 right now. Going strong. I only need about 10 or 12 more and I'm done. No, I'm not. I'm not done. I just tell myself that. I was done at 20, I was done at 30. I'm not done. 40 is a lot less than a lot of people, so going strong on that. No, never done. Even breeding, you're never done. Because you always want the new thing. You always want the next best thing. It's crazy on how addicting it is. And I can see how people get overwhelmed very, very fast. And then they sell off their collections because not only housing them is expensive, feeding them is expensive. So I'm basically almost up to, I would say I'm almost up to 60 or no more than that. I'd say I'm almost up to $100 a week. And I don't breed. I don't have babies to feed, like a ton of babies. It's a lot. I would assume around 250-ish a week breeding. That's not raising my own food. That's just buying local with a discount. So I think a lot of people get in the mindset that they want to breed snakes. And then they buy 40 ball pythons, and then you got to feed 40 ball pythons for 2 years without seeing any babies. That's a lot. And then people don't see the return that they expected, and then they cash out. You can. That's an expensive breakfast. Especially if you could eat a $6,000 egg. I got to go get this snake real fast. All right. I would say in the long run, yes, breeding can help, but starting out, you're not going to see any return for the first 2 to 3 years. So you're spending probably $10,000 to $20,000 on food, caging, in snakes before you even see incubators, before you even see it, before you see any type of a return. And that's not even profitable. That's just making $1. There's a lot of morphs, and there's more morphs now. And now that there's people that are like Kabolka and Ozzy, they're stockpiling all these different morphs with clown pied yellow bellies. There's going to be clown, who knows, Batman pieds, all this ridiculous stuff. So they're just going to keep on making more and more morphs, and they're so expensive, because I think right now just a regular pied clown is going, I think a male is going for $5,000. I think females are going for $6,000. So I mean, you can get hets, but if you want the for-sure deal and you get 2 clown pieds, that's $12,000, and then you got to feed them for 2 years. Batmans are nice. Batmans are very expensive, and you can put 2 Batmans together and not get any Batmans. So there goes your hopes and dreams on getting rich off Batmans. So I think Kabolka, I was looking at Kabolka. I mean, obviously Justin's stuff is a lot more expensive because of his name and quality. But I think he was selling a female Batman for $3,200. I think that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to, I don't know. It can be heartbreaking, I think, because if you get 2 Batmans and you put 2 Batmans together expecting to get, a $10,000 clutch, and you get no Batmans, your $10,000 clutch just went to $3,000. Which is still a lot of money, but it's not $10,000. It's not going to pay for those 5 snake wrecks. But that's really with anything. Once you start playing with multiple genes, it's just all about the odds. They can make you or break you. Nope. Nobody watches them. It's just me. So I wake up, come in here, do a quick check, and then I come home and I do my other checks, and that's really it. And then I try to clean all the cages as much as I can, because when I do the YouTube videos, if you have one speck of poop, your whole video is all about that one little piece of poop. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about the snakes. They don't care about what the snakes are doing. The whole video is now about, why are you dirty and why do you have gross cages? That's all it's about. So you can watch them if you clean the cages. Which Pop-Tarts, and every single day I clean Pop-Tarts cages. How about those Bengals? 1-1. All right, we're back. People are crazy. But what are you going to do? Cowboys. I don't know. I live in Cincinnati, so I think I have to stick with the Bengals. But yeah, I mean, I did. That's probably why I have a crappy job right now. But I've been talking to some breeders, and realistically, if you can afford it, you really only need like 40. This is really bad quality right now. You only really need like 40 to 100 ball pythons for a full-time job. But yeah, streaming is going bad. Been on here for quite a while. Oh yeah, you got plenty of room for more animals, definitely. Probably the glasses. I'm not smart. I promise you that. If I was, I wouldn't be working 10 to 12-hour jobs every single day. And trying to have a snake breeding business, which is years away. Actually, only 1 year if everything works out. But probably going to cut this off. I got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I can come back on here live again. I work at Amazon at a warehouse. So stay in school. Go to college, I don't know. Or get out a $100,000 loan and become a snake breeder. Hopefully. We'll see. All my extra money goes towards the snakes and credit cards. So, but I think that's all businesses though. Like you have to go in debt in any business if you don't have a sponsor or if you don't have a rich family member that passed away and inherited you with a bunch of money. Yeah, I'm too old to get a trade right now. Plus, I don't make good money, but I make enough money for the snakes, and that's all that matters. But in a trade, I got to go to school, I got to get out more loans, then I got to get a part-time job, and then until the trade pays off, I wouldn't be making money. So I'm just going to stay where I am right now. I've been at Amazon for almost 10 years, so it's not horrible. I will be 37 this Sunday. So I'm old. Not really though. I still got another 40 years to live, hopefully. But I'm hoping by I'm 40, I can get the ball rolling on some of these snakes and have my plan is to make money to support the snakes. So when was the last time I clean shaved? Probably, I don't know, probably about 5 years ago. Appreciate it. Oh, really? You did a whole job change at 39? Maybe I could do that then. I don't know. For some reason, I just think I'm way too old to change career paths. I don't know. That's just how I feel, though, personally. But I guess not. Maybe I will look into it. But guys, look me up on Instagram, same name. If you want to talk to me, questions, anything like that, see a bunch of snake pictures every single day. But I'm probably going to jump off of here because I got to be up early for work. Yeah. If I put I could always, we'll see. Because Amazon does pay 100% for tuition. So maybe I have to look at what programs they have for trade and see what happens. All right, guys. Again, I appreciate you spending your evening with me. And got any questions? Want to talk to me? Find me on Instagram. I'm on there a lot. So again, I appreciate the support on the channel. And maybe next time somebody will jump on the live stream with me. We'll see. We'll try to get Gary on here and do a live stream with Gary. I'll message him and see what he thinks about that. Yeah, I'll try to get Gary tomorrow. Maybe that would work out. So bug Gary, tell him to get on live with me. So see you guys. Hopefully you guys have an awesome night and a great day tomorrow. See ya.